welcome to the Viking Saturn.
Yeah, we are in Suite 3000.
Yes. And
we haven't unpacked or anything yet, so...
It's all nice and neat and tidy for now.
Yeah. So you walk in here and we have a nice living room area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you want to open any curtains?
And a dining area. Yeah, let's do.
You want to see our little patio?
Yeah.
And see what's out there?
So let's...
this is nice. This is different.
Oh, yeah, it is.
This
is
what
nice.
I imagined.
It is.
Very nice.
So we got 2 chase lounges.
Little eating area.
And an eating area.
Very.
Okay.
Got a little desk area here. Some coffee.
Yeah. And this is the bedroom.
This is our master bed.
Yeah.
Turn light on. No, that came on in here.
Which is kind of nice. 2 sinks. We have a walk-in closet. And then the last thing, which I haven't seen yet, this is the what they call a wet room, and it's a combination shower and tub. Very nice. I understand that the floors in here are heated. We got not quite 2 weeks, 13 nights, I think. We're going to end up in Venice. So we're in Barcelona. We're going to end up in Venice.
And we're going to be very comfortable here, I think.
Yeah,
yes.
Really looking forward to it. Well, we're still in Barcelona.
Yeah.
But it's cocktail time and we're on the pool deck. Hey,
what a yummy cocktail.
Oh, you're beautiful. Here's a beer. Okay, thank you. We had an excellent tour guide, though. I was going to ask you what you liked about the tour. One thing I learned this morning on our tour is that they don't get rain here. Hardly at all. They turned off all the fountains, and they say water's a real issue.
I also thought it was interesting when we were down by the church. What was it called? The really big church?
I forgot.
Yeah, you have to look that up.
I'll put that on the bottom of the screen.
Anyway, the number of years that it's taken to construct, and it's still not done.
Yeah, it's been going on since the late 1800s,
right.
Like 1850 or 60, something like that.
Right, and they have like so many millions of dollars in reserve to just make sure they can keep construction going.
Other thing I did not know is they've got a Roman museum there, and they've actually preserved the whole Roman area.
And the underground passages.
Yes. We're in the Gothic center of Barcelona, and what's interesting is this is actually where we stayed. We were just like 2 blocks from here, from the Hotel Catedral. Okay, we are in Marseille now. We had some really pretty views, but I'll have to say this is probably one of the least memorable excursions that we took. One of the best parts of our cruise was the onboard experience. Viking does an outstanding job in all that matters. After a hard day of seeing sights, it was just as enjoyable to relax by the pool with a cocktail. In the evenings, our routine was to have a cocktail in the living room, then a fantastic dinner with wine at the chef's table or the dining room or Manfredi's. Then we would retire to the Explorer's Lounge for yet another cocktail.
Hello, greetings from Monte Carlo, Monaco. Now that we know where we're at.
Yeah, we did a walking tour this morning. Went straight from the ship and then into Old Town. I clocked maybe it was a total of a mile, half mile there, half mile back. And pretty easy walking. There's a big hill in the background, but you go up with escalators and elevators, so you don't really have to work too hard.
What I was really impressed with was how clean it is. It's a very small area, but there are lots and lots of buildings and mansions, and it's pretty impressive, but it's so clean.
Yeah.
So clean.
The other thing that we learned is that Monte Carlo, or Monaco, is the second smallest independent sovereign nation in the world, right behind the Vatican.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And actually, when we got up to the hilltop, we could see, of course, Monaco in the foreground. In the background, in the mountains, was France. And if you looked way off to the east, you could see more mountains, and that was Italy.
That's right.
3 countries from one vantage point.
Anyway, Princess Grace married Prince Rainier and came here, and if you remember, they had Prince Albert and Caroline and Stephanie, and Princess Grace was killed in a car accident, and I believe the daughter Stephanie was in the car, and she was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy around that, who was actually driving, and but the official report is that Princess Grace was driving. That's what they say, and she is buried here, and we got to see where she's buried. She's actually buried in a cathedral, and so is Prince Rainier. That was kind of neat to see, especially somebody like me that follows all that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna say I'm impressed. Nice job, Kim. Okay. Well, we're back from Rome.
We are. It was a full day.
Yeah, it was a very full day.
we just thought we'd give a quick update as to how it went. It did not meet the expectations that I was thinking about, because first of all, it's probably 4 hours on the bus, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and then
boot camp in Rome.
And then boot camp in Rome.
Boot camp and shuttle bus boot camp. Yeah.
We did the open tour, so what that meant was they dropped us off in one place, and then we could take shuttles to 2 other places, and it was like a circle.
Right.
But it took, I'd say 60% of our time today was riding around on the bus.
Right.
But we did see some really nice things.
We did. We saw St. Peter's, and after that we got on took
shuttle.
some pictures there. The lines for seeing inside St. Peter's were atrocious. It was so crowded today.
Yeah.
But we got some outside pictures.
Yep. Then we got on the shuttle and we went someplace else. I forget where it is. We didn't plan on staying there. We went right to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And we got off the shuttle there and basically did kind of the same thing. It was really, really busy. And took some pictures and stretched our legs, and then got back on the shuttle and ended up coming home. But if we ever go back, and this is the good thing, we got a sense of what Rome is. Actually, I think it's a really great town, and if we go back, then we'll know not to do it on a cruise.
Right.
Actually go and
Take our time.
Stay 2 or 3 nights, and then maybe we've been to.
Face thinking.
We've been to Florence before, so maybe we go spend a few nights up there too.
Right.
Anyway.
And then when we got back, we were greeted by the entire Viking crew with champagne, and they were playing music and dancing for us because pretty much everyone from the ship was out on an excursion today.
Right.
So I'm sure they enjoyed a little downtime too today. But warm welcome back to the ship, and we're off to have cocktails and dinner.
Good morning. We are in Corfu. We had a wonderful trip across the boot of Italy, and today will be a short visit in Corfu, but we wanted to talk about our last stop, which was in Naples. We took a bus tour to Sorrento and Pompeii. Really, to me, I was expecting a lot out of that because I've seen so many films about Sorrento and how beautiful it was. Unfortunately, there was an accident on the road, and it took us 3 hours to get to Sorrento. So, and it was very crowded. So what we ended up doing is spending like 15 minutes walking around the square and had lunch.
Right. We were stuck in a tunnel all that time, so that was a little claustrophobic. Yeah, so it was unfortunate, but it was pretty.
And then...
Very pretty.
And then...
Yeah.
We went to Pompeii.
And we love Pompeii.
Yeah.
When we first got there, it felt super touristy, almost like the Wisconsin Dells on steroids. But once you got into the actual ruins, it was very well organized and small groups going through so you could see everything. And we had a wonderful tour guide.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how, well, first of all, it sits on a hill. And when we were walking up to the town, it was so gradual, I didn't even realize it until we came back down all these stairs. But the ruins themselves had been excavated. They're still excavating the ruins, and it is massive, and it's got a lot of Roman influence. We saw lead pipes that people were dying from poisoning, and anyway, it really was the highlight of the trip so far. That was probably one of my favorite stops.
Right. Yep.
We stopped in Corfu 2 years ago, and it was one of our favorite ports. And today did not disappoint us either. Glad we came back again. Took a bus ride over to the other side of the island and got some pictures of the airport and planes coming in and beautiful views. And then we went to by the old fort and got out and walked around town. They've got a palace there that has some beautiful grounds that we walked through again, and then of course the downtown area is just beautiful. This time we gave a little of our business to a restaurant. We just sat for half an hour and had coffee. What a delightful time. Actually, we're going to do two this time. The first one is Dubrovnik, where we took a wine tasting tour of two family vineyards. And I thought that it was just one of the better excursions that we took.
Yeah, I love Dubrovnik.
Yeah.
The people are so kind and humble, and the scenery is so beautiful.
Yeah, we went up over the mountains and down into the valley. We were really in the country, so that was a good experience. Mm-hmm. And we had a nice view of the Mediterranean too, going around some tight curves that Kim didn't like so well.
Yeah. I survived.
I tell you, the one thing that left an impression on me, I didn't know much about the war the independence war that Croatia had in the early 1990s, but they gave us a little bit of a history on that, and frankly, it was really kind of sad because you were there and you saw the houses and you saw the people and what they went through. It was the Montenegro army that came in.
Invasion, yeah.
Invasion, and they burned houses and they, raped and pillaged, or pillaged, not village, but pillaged.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 decades now since they've gotten their independence, but they seem to really like their life and they're good people.
They've rebuilt and they are strong. Yeah, very strong.
So then after Dubrovnik, we went to Split, and there, we're going to have to cheat here a minute. We went to the Krka National Park, where we saw
beautiful waterfalls.
Beautiful, gorgeous waterfalls. Yeah. And it was a little bit of a hike for us. It was, I think a total of 1.6 miles, but, it was mostly all the way downhill, which meant we had to come all the way uphill too. Mm-hmm. There was 280 steps.
Right, and the pavement was wet.
And the pavement was wet.
Definitely. You had to be careful.
Yeah. Beautiful though.
It was worth it.
Right. And then we stopped in the little town of
Scraden.
Is this Scraden?
Scraden,
yeah.
Scraden.
Okay, Scraden.
Something like that.
Yeah, and small, quiet little village. I did not know this. They got a little brackish lake there that has access to the Mediterranean, and they have some gorgeous yachts there.
They do. They've had famous people come in. Magic Johnson, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
On their yachts.
Yeah.
Into this small little village.
And then we
had lunch.
Yeah, then we had
a snack.
We had a lunch. They called it a snack, and we started thinking that it was a snack, so we ate it all.
Yeah,
we had a little wine,
all the cheese and bread.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, then they brought out a salad, and then they brought out an entree, and then they brought out a dessert.
Right.
It was never so full.
Split was the last port where we took an excursion. From Split, we cruised to the Venice area where we disembarked and took a bus to Lake Maggiore, or as they say, Lago Maggiore, for a 3-night stay. We had lunch at a local winery along the way, and then we stayed at the Majestic Hotel on Lake Maggiore. The hotel had nice facilities, but we found our room to be rather small and uncomfortable. Our first day was a boat tour on Lake Maggiore, where we toured 3 islands. The first island was Isola Belle, I think that's how you pronounce it, where we toured the Palazzo Borromeo in their gardens. The artwork and the history in this palace was stunning, and the gardens were equally impressive. The next island we toured was Isola Superiore, also known as Fisherman's Island, where we had a short walking tour and lunch. Then, the third island was Isola Madre. That island also had stunning gardens with wild pheasants and peacocks. There's also a palace on this island that Kim and Lynn toured, but Paul and I opted for a cocktail. You know, after a while, all palaces start to look alike. We were on our own that evening for dinner, so we opted for a little longer walk to a local pizzeria and restaurant. It was well worth the walk. We each had our own pizza, and I tried their locally brewed beer. It was fantastic. More than fantastic. It was the best pizza I've ever had. The next day, we got on a bus and traveled to the town of Como, which is on the south end of Lake Como. We spent the morning touring and shopping in Como, which we found to be very, very pricey area of Italy. Then we took a boat tour of Lake Como all the way up to Bellagio. The views were stunning. And of course, the highlight was to see George Clooney's house. Just me, but I'd say it was a bit anticlimactic. Of more interest to me was the property where they filmed scenes for Star Wars and Casino Royale. We had lunch in Bellagio, and Kim and I did a little shopping. Then we took a ferry across the lake where we met our bus and went back to Hotel Majestic.